Hello and welcome to StroongeCast episode 40.
See how you do.
Yes. How do you do, by the way?
I do hot.
I also is doing hot.
It's very hot.
It's going to be 31 today and tomorrow probably as well. And
For the whole weekend, going into next week, it's just proper heat wave in London.
And that's real degrees, by the way. Celsius or centigrade. Not the weird one.
No.
So we've got a fan on in the room. You shouldn't be able to tell at all because of our super cool Supertone clear that we use. But yeah, it's a hot one. So if I ask how your week is, will you just say hot again?
Yeah.
Right.
Hot, melty. Lots of ice lollies trying to cool off.
And I've got a thing full of water with ice in it, which is doing me a world of good.
It wouldn't be so bad if you could actually sleep. That's the problem, is it's so hot at night.
Yeah, and
Fans
I was awake at 4 this morning.
Don't cut it. Yeah.
And I was awake for about an hour, and I forced myself to try and go back to sleep so that my alarm at 6 o'clock wouldn't kill me. I feel all right at the moment, so we'll see how it goes.
To be honest, though, I feel like we shouldn't complain that much because the kids are at school and then they have to, wear their blazers. Not permanently all day, but they do have to when they're moving around the school and stuff.
Yes.
Then come home or walk on the bus. Well, come home on the bus or walk. But
yeah.
So,
But you've been on buses already today.
I have been on buses and I have to go on more buses over lunchtime, which I'm not looking forward to, but it's okay.
We're recording
better than
this.
the tube.
It is better than the tube. We're recording this on Thursday, by the way, the day before, because you've got loads to do tomorrow, haven't you?
I do have a busier day tomorrow, so we just thought rather than delay putting it out tomorrow.
Which is today for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my goal for these is always, and it never works out if we record on the day, of course, but my goal for those who don't know is to get these out by 10 o'clock UK time. I don't know why I set that as my goal.
Well, that works if I don't have anything to do in the morning, apart from walk the dog, because I always do that. But
yeah.
And that's fine, but if I'm
when
busy,
you do,
when
and you're a busy bee, which is good to be, then it doesn't. What have I done this week? I went somewhere really cool, and I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but when I know more, I'll tell you all. But I saw some fun stuff, and that was about my week. That was Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday, something like that. It was Wednesday.
Tuesday, because Wednesday was yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So it was Tuesday. And it was like in one of those semi-permanent cabin things. So it was like on an estate kind of thing, I think. And there was no aircon in there. And we just all died of heatness.
Yeah, it's vile, isn't it?
It was really bad.
Nice.
But I did get to see some fun stuff, as I say. So as soon as I can tell you all about it, I will, because it was very fun. And I want to talk about it. There were nice people I went to see. Oh, there goes the gate. So one package has arrived for you.
One package for me.
There's one big box coming for me.
There's
very
more
soon.
Packages coming for me.
It's that kind of a day.
It is the day.
And I don't envy delivery drivers in this weather either.
No, absolutely not.
That's not fun.
No.
I hope the vans are at least semi-airconned or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then because they stop and start, so much, I don't think you sort of get a chance for the aircon to
kick in.
Yeah, for it to work.
Luckily, the cabs I had coming and going were aircon equipped. So I did have a nice ride there and back. Lucky. And this place I went, they sent me cabs. I didn't have to buy my own, which was good because it was East London and it was a very long way. So that was cool.
I'll tell you where does have aircon.
The post office.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
I really like it. But you have to stand in the right spot because it's like a unit at the top in the middle of the room. So it sort of blows out really cold air.
Oh,
so because it's quite big and open, I mean, it's still better than being outside. But if you stand in the queue in the right spot, you get it right on you. Oh, it's so nice.
That reminds me of when I was in Barbados. I'd be at one of the shopping centres there and you'd walk in and you'd get blasted. And all around the store, it's nice. And then you step out into the Bayesian heat and it's like a blast furnace
like
to the face.
Like when you step off an aeroplane, isn't it?
In another country, yes.
I always remember that on holiday when you step off and it is a different heat. I know that lots
It
of
is
people
very
come
different.
to London or England, but mainly London. I think it is London that is different, and everyone says, no, that because people in different countries think that we're just complaining for the sake of it. Like, we can't cope. We don't know anything about heat, when they come from hot countries. But
It's a
then when
mixture.
those people come here, they admit that actually the heat is different.
It is. It does kind of slap you in the face.
Oh,
But
it's just not
when I stepped off the plane when I was 8 for the very first time, and I'd never been on a plane, and I flew to Barbados, and I got off, and my immediate thought was, 1, it's hot, but 2, it smells different because of the insects and the nightlife and things. And it was a completely different experience, and I really enjoyed it. I had a great 4 weeks, but I never forget like the feeling I had of landing in another country where the heat is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm kind of interested to see what happens when we step off the ship in under 2 months or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Different countries.
Hopefully it won't be too hot.
No.
I don't want to be like whining about the weather and stuff, because that's not great. But
Don't sunburn yourself to death.
Yeah. Well, that, and we want to get off and we want to look around and explore a bit, and you can't really do that in 30 plus heat. But if that's the case, I was having this conversation with my mum yesterday. If that is the case, if it is like this, if it is too hot, it's fine. We'll just stay on the ship and enjoy the many, many facilities.
Of which there are
or
plenty.
Get off for an hour, go and have a look, and then come back. Like, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
We've got a whole huge ship, many things that we can do.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to get stressed about that.
No. So we went on a tangent. We haven't even answered the quiz question yet. So you want to tell us what last week's answer was?
Yes.
Because I still don't know.
The question was, which fruit's seed is on the outside?
Yes.
And we did get a response. And the person, I'm really sorry, I've forgotten who it was.
Was it Marie? I don't know. Could have been, actually. Yeah. I think it was on YouTube.
But they said strawberries, which is correct. But she also said that she believed that it was raspberries as well.
Yeah.
Which I tried to double check. And I could be really wrong here and misreading, interpreting what is said. But I think because raspberries are made up of tiny little fruits all together.
Yeah.
I think they're called druplets, each little bobbly one. The
Sounds
seeds
really
are in
sad.
there. What?
Druplets.
Druplets, yeah.
Sounds really sad, like a miserable fruit.
I think because they contain the seeds.
Right.
I think it doesn't class as seeds on the outside. But I could be really wrong there. So if I am, I apologise.
But strawberries for
But
sure.
strawberries definitely are on the outside.
How fascinating.
Yes.
All right, then.
So there you go.
I think it was actually Marie, yes. So what you got for us this week?
Well, this week actually the question comes kind of from you, because you sent me this fact. And we thought it was really, really interesting and super cool. And again, another fruit question, but that's just kind of how it came. What fruit should you definitely not eat around bees?
It's a good one, that.
Yeah.
I was very surprised when I came across it because of the place I came across it. It was actually in a Harry Potter fan fiction. Of all places.
So bizarre.
And then I sent it to you, and I was like, we have to check this for the podcast because it's fun.
Yeah, and I fact-checked it. It's correct.
It's so weird. Let's see who gets the answer, because that's so out there. I was just surprised.
Yeah.
Right
there
then.
You go.
What you got for us this week?
So today we're just doing something quite simple. It's hot. We don't want to,
keep you here for too long.
Well, yeah. So we can't stay here for too long. We'll just melt into a puddle. So we thought we would do some little fun questions between the two of us, see how well we do, hence the see how well you do.
Yes.
And you could either do these yourself with your partner or with a friend. Could be with, a close friend. See how well you know each other. Little things.
Exactly.
All very lighthearted. Nothing. Not going to get annoyed if you don't know these or anything. So the first question is, how does your spouse take their coffee? Now, obviously, we don't drink coffee.
The answer is non-existent.
So we wouldn't. But if we were to turn this into tea, how do we take our tea? How do you think how do I take my tea?
You take it with milk and no sugar.
Exactly. And you are the same.
That is why we are so good together. We
Just
take
'cause
the
of the
tea
tea.
the same. Just the tea, nothing else.
We do. Yes. What is the name of the high school your spouse went to? We have secondary school, not high school.
Oh no. I know, but I don't remember. I did know that.
It's all right.
And you've talked about it a lot. And I know it's a girls' school. That's my one saving grace. But I cannot remember the name. And your mum is laughing at me.
It's fine.
What was it?
Parliament Hill.
Parliament Hill. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Damn.
School for girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you technically didn't go to a secondary school.
But I went to boarding school.
You went to a boarding school.
Which is
Worcester? In Worcester?
In Worcester, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been there as well.
Yeah, we've got some pictures. It was called at the time anyway, RNIB, New College, Worcester.
Oh, okay. I think because we never talk about it as being like that. We just just refer to it as Worcester.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I don't know if it's actually still called New College. They split from RNIB several years ago. I think they had a bit of a falling out. So I think it's now just New College, Worcester.
What street did your spouse grow up on?
Is it the same one you are now? Because no, it wasn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of my childhood was there, so I would say that.
Okay, so it's kind of like, well, Upper Park, I suppose.
Yeah, Upper Park
Road.
Yours would be Colville Square.
No, it would not.
Well, it's in that.
It's close, but that's not the street I actually grew up on. I moved to Colville Square.
Oh, come on.
I used to live on Powys Terrace.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
A few streets away.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know, right?
What did your spouse's parents do for a living? Which implies that
they don't exist anymore.
They're not, yeah. So what do or did they do?
Your mum's a nurse, and your dad used to work in probation.
Yes.
And he never met me.
No.
I was not bad enough.
Yeah. You are definitely not on my dad's radar in that respect.
Good job, really.
Your mum, I think, did like lots of different things when you were little, but when I knew her, she wasn't working because she had very small children.
Very small children.
Yeah, so she was working as a mum.
Yes.
And your
Which
dad,
is in itself a full-time job, let's be honest.
100%. And your dad teaches.
He does. What does he teach for extra bonus points?
Well, I would assume he teaches steel pan.
He does.
Yeah.
You get the bonus points.
Yay.
And a really melty cookie.
What TV station or channel we have here is your spouse most likely to have on?
ITV.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the quiz shows for you.
It's the afternoon quiz shows.
And if it's not that, maybe you watch Court TV. I don't know what Judge Judy's on, but whatever Judge Judy's on, you'll follow it around. So
yeah, I do like Judge Judy.
It's on all
I tend to watch her on Amazon Prime now because it's the newer series. But yes.
Oh, okay.
You don't really watch that much TV. You would watch, although saying that, when we had to do a Zoom thing earlier today and it zoomed in to your computer.
Yeah.
You had ITV.
I did
as well.
That's my morning listening. If it's not that, it's BBC
News.
News.
To this morning. That's funny.
On and off. I just sort of have ITV on because I like Good Morning Britain and just catching up with whatever rubbish is going on in the world.
We both quite like ITV then.
Yeah, although, I could go on about reminiscence about my childhood and how much I loved ITV back in the day, but I won't.
Yeah.
I did, though. All the adverts.
Yeah. What dessert is your spouse most likely to order when you're out?
That's interesting because it could be cheesecake sometimes, but you like ice cream and you like chocolate fudge cake. Oh, sorry, brownie. Or maybe brownie in your case.
I think that's more you and Jake nowadays.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
And Jake and Alice pretty much always go for the brownie.
What did you have when we went to Pizza Express the end of last year? Because that was nice.
I think I had a white chocolate something, maybe? Gosh,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That kind of thing.
It would either be a brownie or like a tiramisu.
Yeah, or a fudge cake.
Or a fudge cake. Yeah, but like brownie, some kind of rich chocolatey dessert or a tiramisu.
Yeah, I do love
definitely.
chocolatey things.
Yeah.
Particularly. I don't really go in for ice cream.
Oh, see, I really like ice cream. But it would have to be, if I was having it out in a restaurant, it would have to be like with other stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be like 2 scoops of ice cream.
Well, we're going to get the opportunity to eat together a lot on the ship. So
yeah,
we can put this to the test.
And there's a really nice ice cream place there.
Is it called Nice Cream?
No, it isn't.
Should be.
But it's part of the chocolate shop.
Oh, right. Then I will have to have ice cream on the ship.
You will have to have ice cream,
because
definitely.
Chocolate
ice cream.
Honestly, if people know, I never bother with ice cream.
No, you're not an ice cream enthusiast.
I don't know what it is. I just think it's kind of boring in a way.
Oh, no, there's so many nice ice creams.
Do you like ice cream? Tell us in the comments.
Where did you go on your very first date? We didn't really ever date like that.
Not in the official dating way.
No, we just weren't.
We went to a music shop.
We went to a music shop. Yeah,
to return a keyboard of mine.
We did.
And we got completely overlooked in the queue. It was very rude.
Yeah, that's funny.
I remember that. But
yeah, sorry.
That was, I don't remember when that was. It might have been December. I suppose you could say that we ate pizza in a house in Chiswick.
Oh, when I was staying there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did do that.
And we watched South Park.
We did.
And it was funny.
A lot.
We laughed a great deal.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you perceive date.
That is true. I think just doing something together.
Yeah.
The next one, when did the two of you meet for the very first time?
Well, at my house.
At your house.
On a Sunday, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
A bit abnormal. Don't do
this.
The date? The date was the 2nd of December 2007.
Yeah. Well done.
Come on, I'm good at dates.
I know you're really good at dates. Really good at dates.
Not all men
are. What does your spouse do every single night before bed?
Well, you laugh at me because I fold my socks a particular way.
Yeah. You always, every single time you take your socks off, you fold them together so that they don't get lost. And it's like
a ritual.
It is a ritual, but it is something I have never, ever known you not to do. It doesn't matter if you are sick, if you are so tired, you've crawled your way to bed, no matter what it is. It could be an emergency, although I can't think why you would take your socks off for an emergency. But you would always fold your socks together.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
I think that stems from maybe just boarding school and just keeping all my stuff in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never not done that. Never. Because then you have the odd sock fairy come and steal the socks. And it's just really irritating to go hunting for them after the fact. Yeah. If you're going to take one, just take both and just leave me alone.
What about me? What's something that I do before bed?
Take off your makeup.
Yes.
Good old makeup, eh?
Okay, well, we don't have favourite football teams, so we'll leave that one. What's the one place your spouse wants to travel to but hasn't yet?
Northern Lights.
Yeah. You, I would say Canada, because you and Jake have this thought, don't you? This trip planned.
Yeah.
I mean, not actually planned, but talking about.
Definitely, yeah.
Planning together.
Really want to go to Canada. I want to go to LTX Expo, which is a YouTuber thing. Jake and I really like a lot of the stuff there. And definitely want to take him abroad. I mean, we went what felt like abroad, Huddersfield. It was far enough. But actually abroad together, we'd have a really, really great... I know we would have the best time.
Mm.
He'd be the eyes, and I always joke and I say, he's the eyes, I'm the pocketbook. So whatever he wants, he gets with me, and he is my eyes, and we go all sorts of fun places. And he's an exceptionally good map reader.
He's really good, actually. He's got very, very good sense of direction.
Really good.
Yeah.
We've never been lost when we're out, and we go some weird places in London, like back streets and random
even
things.
When he's been to places on his own and he said he got a bit stuck or a bit lost or whatever, he always stays calm and manages to
I've never seen him panic
really
when we're out.
Oh, no.
Never.
He doesn't panic about anything. He's so laid back, honestly.
No. Although you have to tell the story of when his account got banned, because this is actually further to our chat last week about TikTok.
Oh, when he
came back from school.
I mean, he almost jumped up and down.
Yes.
He was so animated and...
He was livid. genuinely, I've never seen the boy like that.
I mean, he almost came close to that a few weeks before when we didn't have the hot water.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have a shower. And then when he had a sink wash and then realised the water was bad. I mean, he was absolutely furious. But he was so angry that his account had been banned for no reason, no explanation, nothing.
We didn't know that when we recorded last week's episode.
No, we didn't realise.
He didn't check.
No, we thought his was okay, but it turned out his wasn't.
Forgot about that. So yeah, all three of ours have been banned. Alice's has not.
No, Alice is fine.
She avoided.
Just us. But yeah.
And he got an email. He actually emailed them and got a response, and then nothing after that.
Well, they said they were escalating it, so we're just waiting to see.
Oh, it's a very long escalator. Come on.
Well, yeah.
It's all a bit silly.
When is your mother-in-law's birthday?
August I want to say 11th.
Yeah. Now your mum's was really easy because it's the same day as my dad's.
Same as your dad's. Yeah, and the same as my granddad, and that's just funny.
The 23rd of July.
Yes. Easy, huh?
What year was your spouse born? I mean, if you don't know what year I was born, then that's...
Obviously 1782. Okay.
Thanks.
1986.
And you are 83.
I mean, the amount of times you've helped me fill out things, you should know, right?
Exactly.
Including this morning.
Where was
Inaccessible website.
Yeah, that is true. Where was your spouse's first real apartment or flat? We don't really have apartments.
Well, I came to see it.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Blandford Court.
It was, yeah.
Some weird name. Because remember, we were talking about this recently. You couldn't remember the address, and I looked it up because it was in our chat history back in the day.
Yeah.
That's just funny.
And yours?
Yes.
I know that you moved. I don't know the name of the building.
But it was near Latimer.
But yeah, I know it was on really close to Latimer Station.
Yes, it was called Runcorn Place.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
And it was a little one-room bedsit. And I loved that place, oddly. It was far from anybody. So for people to come and see me was a bit out of the way. And I didn't have the best access to the station there. So like my mobility instructor said, this is not you. It's just a bit weird to get to. But I did try. But I just liked the place, really. There might be a... You've seen pictures of it, haven't you? Me and my chair there,
I've seen, a couple of pictures of you there.
It was like living room, bedroom, and kitchen separate thing. So it was all right.
Yeah.
Tiny bathroom.
What kind of pizza would your spouse eat?
Margarita.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
quite basic.
Before you stopped eating meat, you...
I would have pepperoni, yeah, but I do just like a really thin, crispy, basic margarita. I'm sorry. It's just perfect. You, however...
Oh, yes.
And this was the issue that we had when we went on our last cruise and we went to Naples and we went to a restaurant to have proper authentic pizza.
The Italians do pizza wrong.
No, they do amazing pizza, but it's just not your kind of pizza. You like a slightly thicker pizza. You like barbecue sauce as the base, and then you like all the meat.
All of it.
All of the meat. And that's not an Italian. That's more of an American style.
Yes.
I believe.
But even though the Italians invented pizza, they just do it wrong.
No.
Massive flame war starting now.
Well, when we go away this time in Italy, you can have a pasta dish.
I'm going to have pasta, yep.
And Alice and I will enjoy.
You surely can't screw up pasta.
You can't say that about Italian. Honestly.
Love you really, guys. It's okay.
When your spouse is upset, what's the first thing they do? This is a really...
I don't know.
Interesting question.
Sit and watch TV, probably.
What, when I'm upset, I watch TV?
Maybe.
No.
I just give you a hug, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think you do?
I think I come to you for a hug, to be honest.
See?
Yeah.
Because it works.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
When I'm livid, you hug me and it goes away. It's like drains away like bathwater. I just hate the world for a sec and then I'm like, okay. Make it better.
I know when you're really annoyed about something. Then a hug will immediately change your mood. So
yeah. Didn't do that after this web form filling though. Have to do it after the podcast is done.
No, that is true, but it is quite sticky today.
I know.
We don't hug anywhere near as much in this weather.
No, it is so.
When did you first meet your spouse's family?
Oh, yeah, Easter of 2008.
I mean, we talked about that before, didn't we? With the
in
all the things.
Was it the episode
cats.
last week or the week before? Last week. No, it was the week before.
Yes.
Because we talked about your cat under the floorboards and stuff.
Yeah, poor George.
Poor George.
Yours, I
actually can't remember.
I think we went round to your mum's and helped put the little thing on the buggy, the little step thing for your older little sister to use when the baby came along.
That's true.
But I don't remember when I met your dad.
No, but you know what? That thing happened on the same day as Valentine's Day. And I just remembered this because I remember it's coming back to me. We went over to see my mum on that day, and then we came back and built the wardrobe because we had definitely been to my mum's earlier in the day.
Okay.
We didn't just build it after dinner or something. We'd been out, and I'm certain it was to my mum's.
Oh, probably then.
Which is weird because I thought I would have remembered that. But yeah, that's when that happened. So we were a building day that day.
Yeah.
How intriguing.
On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how organised is your spouse?
Oh, at least a 9.5.
To a certain extent. I think I used to be incredibly organised. As things have got harder with my health and stuff, then it is harder to be. But it's not through lack of trying. It just...
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but I do still try and remain that. I would say quite similar for you.
Yeah.
There's definitely...
I know where things are when I go out, for example.
Yeah, when it comes to that and like the setup of your desk and your equipment and everything, and in the whole time, I think I've ever known you to do meetings or whatever, you've only ever had that one slip up.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which I think sometimes you need to have a slip up because it just makes you
pay more attention
and not be complacent. So sometimes you do have to make a mistake, just even a stupid one, just to kind of kick you back into gear and say, look.
As much as it sucked, I'm glad it happened in a weird way, like you say. I was free even talking about it.
That's it. I mean, I had a slightly similar, maybe slightly worse incident, which I won't go into, but before, where I forgot something twice in a row and I was so incredibly embarrassed. And luckily the person was absolutely fine and it was fine, but I realized that what I needed to do to fix that, because I put everything into my calendar, everything goes into my calendar, but then the issue I was having was that I was forgetting to check my calendar, which is really stupid. And you think, just remember, just look at your calendar every day, every morning, but I would just forget. So now my calendar takes up about half of the back screen of my phone.
Yeah.
So whenever I look at my phone, my calendar is right there looking at me and I can see everything for that day.
You know, as well, and this would help others, you can make calendar alerts.
You can make calendar alerts, yeah.
And they can be set, I think, up to 2 hours before.
They can. Just make sure that you
10 minutes before.
Do it as an alert with a sound, because I fell into that trap yesterday or the other day of setting to remind me to write a note for Jake, and it didn't make a sound, and so I didn't see it, which was irritating.
Oh, so you had an alert but no sound?
Yeah,
I
so
just assumed
it just
that
pops
alerts had sound.
up. Or it didn't in this case. I don't know. Maybe I missed it or something. But
yeah, you definitely want to do that. And it stays at the top of the screen. And you have to dismiss it.
It stays at the top of the screen. Exactly. And you can then postpone it.
Yes.
If you need to. You know, say, remind me in 10 minutes because right now I'm busy or whatever.
Those things are super important.
But yeah, so...
Especially like for medication and stuff, people... I mean, calendars and reminders are kind of similar but different.
Yeah.
But, use whichever works for you, I suppose.
Definitely.
And also, it's nice to have a calendar because we have a family calendar. So if anything goes into it that's like really important for you to know I'm out that day or you're out, whatever, then that helps.
Yeah.
And it was so fun, wasn't it? When we put the flights in for the ship, like that whole week is just blocked out in the calendar.
Yeah, that is really fun.
Love seeing that.
Yeah. It is good. What's your spouse's favourite season?
Oh, you know what? I'm not even sure because you don't like summer because you're a little white girl and it kills you. But winter maybe? Well, Maybe autumn because it's not so cold.
Yeah, I'd say autumn going into winter. I like it when it's cold, but I know it sounds awful, doesn't it? But I do like it when it's dry and crisp and you can go for like a nice walk and
Breezy walk, yeah, definitely.
yeah, or sort of the winter sun. Like I like that.
That is nice. You open the door and you get like a blast of cold air, but the sun is coming down at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not a hot weather person.
And even my black self, I think it's because it's English sun. Caribbean sun is different. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But this kind of sun can just go do one.
Exactly. Because we don't have the facilities for it. That's the thing.
We do not.
So.
And it's all the Americans laugh at us like, whoa, just turn the AC on. We don't have it.
Only. Yeah, so I would say you're not really bothered as long as it's just not too extreme.
You know what? I think my ultimate temperature is sort of 20 to 21 degrees C.
Yeah.
That is me.
Who is most likely to clean the house first? That would be me.
Or Alice.
Or Alice, bless her. Yeah.
She is good.
She is very good.
She even does the dishwasher.
She does the dishwasher. She unloads loads. I mean, sometimes when I've been out and I've had a really busy morning, she knows that I'm really busy. So I'll come back and she'll have done the dishwasher, wiped the sides in the kitchen, done the sofa, tidied up. She is amazing.
She will make somebody very happy one day, but they're not. I don't even want to think about it. Nope.
No. Who spends the most?
Me.
You do, yeah, because you buy more extravagant things. I don't mean that in a like, oh God, you're buying all these things that you don't need. It's just the type of things that you buy are more expensive than the type of things that I buy. But then you're buying those type of things for all of us.
Yeah.
So, it's different. It's just
your
the way.
Spending is food.
My spending, I spend a huge amount of money on food to feed our family, and food is extremely expensive.
Right now, especially.
Absolutely insane. You keep us going in the technology sense.
And without you, we would just all starve. So.
So yeah, you spend more, but it's for good reason. And it's not just on yourself at all.
No.
So,
That doesn't do that.
No. What's the number one thing in life your spouse would love to get?
I don't know, because you're not very materialistic, to be fair.
No.
And I wouldn't say this is number one thing, but I know that at some point we need to, speaking of spending, to resurrect your wedding ring. Engagement ring.
Yeah.
Wedding ring is wedding ring, isn't it?
Love my wedding ring. My wedding ring is just very simple and plain. So I have my engagement ring, which I love. And we've always said, and I've always said, even if we won the lottery and we had millions and millions, and I think you asked me once, would I upgrade and get a bigger diamond?
But it's
or a
gaudy.
bigger ring?
No,
but
you wouldn't.
No, I love my ring. It's perfect. So I would never do that. My wedding ring is just quite a simple band with little diamonds. There's a few just around, but 2 of them fell out. And I've just never had the money or never the sort of thought to take it in and get it
I'll do it.
replaced. So
We'll fix that one day for sure.
I don't know what the number one thing. The only thing that comes to mind, because you are Mr. not gadget, but you have all of your stuff.
I could live with that.
Is when the time is right, a car for Jake.
Yeah,
that's the number one thing.
Nice.
Because I just say that because I know then the kind of things that you and he can get up to and can do, and
yeah,
I can't think of anything else.
For myself, I want us when we have a big house, so I can have a grand piano. That's the one thing for me.
Well, I would have said that, but I was thinking more realistic about us being, in our current lives.
I see.
In another life, if we had a really
Jake's
big
car will happen, though.
Jake's car will happen.
Because
100%.
He'll be moving.
He's going to be a natural driver. So.
Ambulatory.
Who wanted kids first?
Ooh, I don't know. I can't say I know the answer to that because it did seem very kind of mutual.
Yeah,
we talked
just
about
both
it quite
wanted a
early
family.
On, didn't we?
Yeah. So I think that's just...
We did talk about it early on.
the both of us.
And I know there'll be people listening that'll be like, never have kids. And that's fine too.
Yeah. You just have to talk about these things at the beginning, though, of relationships.
Oh, you
both
must,
on
yeah.
the same page.
You don't want to get like, a year and a half in and be like, so by the way.
Yeah. And then we will round it off with one more question. Where does your spouse get their hair done?
When?
Where?
Oh, where? Well, in your case, it's Mr. Paul.
It is Paul, my hairdresser.
The hairdresser.
Our family hairdresser. He's amazing. I've been going there since I was like 6, I think. You go to a very, very far away place. Very
so
far.
the other day I got my hair cut and I put like average clothes on. I got out of my bed. I walked downstairs into the kitchen and I sat on a chair. Yeah. So that's as far as I go to get my hair cut.
That is as far as you go, and I am the hairdresser.
I often have to apologize for being late because the traffic is terrible.
Yeah.
It's a very long way and she gets quite irate if I'm late.
Oh, yes.
You've been cutting my hair for what? The last 10, 12 years? Got to be long.
Yeah. Well, since Jake was like 2.
Yep.
So, yeah, 12, 13 years.
I did think it was really funny in the beginning. Like, I have a white barberess, but she's actually very good. Yep. Used to be so scared of it, but...
Because I was always worried I was going to cut you or hurt you or something. But
slice me to bits.
But it's...
You did a great job.
Yeah.
It's fun. And you bought the haircut machine.
Cut machine?
Yeah.
The clippers?
No, it's a haircut machine.
Okay, the haircut machine. Fair enough.
And it goes buzz. Just so...
Yeah.
And it kind of goes up your hand, doesn't it? It goes up your arm.
It does. I get like a slight sort of jitter in my hand afterwards. It's funny.
Yeah, and they all sound like that.
Yeah. There you go.
If they're made by the same people, yeah. So what? I suppose we'll end then with the Stroonge news.
Stroonge news. I have another animal-related Stroonge news because that just seems to be what comes my way. Mm-hmm. This is an Icelandic budget supermarket chain.
Yes.
I believe it's called Netto.
I've heard of Netto, yeah.
Probably pronouncing it wrong, but
we'll have to ask Suzanne because Suzanne actually is learning Icelandic.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I only say that because there's a like a little accent on the O at the end. So I'm wondering if you say it differently. But the supermarket noticed that their most expensive item kept going missing until they discovered the feline culprit. So the thieving cat had been repeatedly stealing bags of dry salted fish from its store, which per kilo is the most expensive product in stock. So he'd been getting in and running off with the fishy treats.
Gonna catch a little fishy.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Red Dwarf with the cat from Red Dwarf doing that, but it's a robotic fish in a fish tank, and he doesn't realize it's not real. And now I'm just gonna forever think of this.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Very good.
And I have a final story actually that I just remembered because Marie, who told me I should say it like that, very French. She told me a story that didn't make it to the Animal Podcast. So apparently her brother used to have, I guess, would be like an upper bedroom in their house. And he went to use the bathroom, getting an ensuite. And he looked down and there was a bat in the toilet. And he screamed like a crazy person.
Oh my goodness.
And their dad came to fish out the bat.
Wow.
And when I asked how it got in, apparently it fell through the ceiling.
Oh.
So that happened.
Poor little bat.
Yeah, but...
No, I know.
Why was the ceiling so poor?
Well, yeah. I once nursed a bat for a whole day. But he didn't make it. I know.
How did you nurse it?
It was when I was pregnant with Jake and I was working in the vets.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember why it came in, where it came from. But it was brought in and it was a little baby bat and I called him Barry.
Barry the bat.
And yeah, I mean, it was quite clear. Oh, excuse me. It was quite clear that he wasn't going to make it. But we gave him a chance and I spent the whole day nursing this little bat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he fly in or did someone bring him in?
No, he was a baby. So I think maybe he'd been found somewhere. I can't remember exactly.
That's intriguing.
But yeah, he was a little baby, so he couldn't sort of properly look after himself. And yeah.
Well, we've gained a couple new listeners. One of them is my friend Shay, who I told about the podcast a couple of days ago, and she listened to the first 4 episodes and enjoyed it a lot, so she may catch up to this sometime in the year or so. So if you hear your name, Shay, then you know why. But it's time for us to go, isn't it? Before it gets really hot. So, as I always like to say, if you're new, welcome. If you're old, welcome back. And we will see you in a week with something else. Whatever that may be. In the meantime and in between time, have a good time. And try not to get so hot that you fall over and, stay there.
Bye.
Hey, can I show you something really fun? So, what I've got in my hand right now are the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons, and they're in the grip, and I'm going to show you what it sounds like when you search for a controller. It makes this noise. That's one controller, and the other controller. And I'm just holding that up to the microphone. Now, what you need to know about this is that there's no speaker in these controllers. The beep you're hearing is actually from the HD Rumble 2 motor. I think that's what it's called. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So it's actually the electronics that's actually doing that, the motor itself. And I've got an EM pickup coil. So what I'm going to do is mute the microphone and do the same beep thing and show you what that sounds like directly from an EM pickup coil. It's really weird and quite cool. So there we are. If you lose your controller, or one of them, and you can probably do this from the touch screen as well, you can make it beep like that. I just think that's a really neat system. The original Switch does the same, but it doesn't beep in the same way. I think it can just vibrate and go, but that's it. I don't think it can do the extra beepy thing. And that means I wonder what new games on the Switch 2 are going to do with those, whether they'll try and play like little songs or, music or do something cool. So, I just wanted to share that.